Hello and welcome back, YouTube. It is 6:50 p.m. Admittedly, I've completely forgotten the date, but I do know it's Saturday evening. That's worth something, right? So, haven't vlogged much this weekend. I don't know, just been feeling really extremely depressed, and it's not like things haven't happened this weekend. It's been a pretty eventful weekend in spite of how much of it I've spent just isolating myself in my bed, being intensely depressed, and isolating myself elsewhere, being intensely depressed. I actually kind of got a wave of motivation a little bit earlier today and have made some progress on cleaning up my apartment. Of course, at this point, my apartment is so bad that most progress is, even if I really went at it, is going to make such a minute difference that the average person wouldn't even notice that anything's been done. But for what it's worth, I've emptied and cleaned the cat box, which I've gone entirely too long without emptying and cleaning. I've taken out a couple bags of trash, and I've also made some progress at getting recycling out of my apartment. Now, summertime is always kind of a rough thing for me with recycling because I don't want to give up on recycling. In spite of the fact that it's not something that's profitable anymore. I mean, there's a little profit there, but it's nothing that's worthy of the amount of time that goes into doing it. But it's something that I like to do, something I feel makes sort of a difference in the environment. Even if it is a minuscule, immeasurable difference, it's a difference that I personally can make. So I continue to do it. Summertime's a tough time though, because it's just simply too hot to be crushing and processing recycling. In fact, this has been the hottest summer on record in the city of Phoenix. Even a normal summer that hasn't been like this is most of the time too hot to be dealing with recycling. But nice blinker, dude. But this summer even more so than normal. So I've got a couple large boxes of recycling. I'm trying to get to my storage down at U-Store. 2 large boxes out of my living room. And I also brought a bag of recycling out of my kitchen. And I have quite a bit piled up in my car. Now, granted, it was 10 minutes before the gates close that I headed down there. Hopefully I'm not creating one of those situations where I go into the place and then can't get out, because I think the gate, including the one that lets you out, are on a timer, which I think is creating a big liability for them. Because, yeah, if somebody goes in, they need to be able to get out, even if they lose track of time and don't make it to that exit gate by 7 o'clock. I question if there's any laws that govern that sort of thing. Because I've had similar issues before in apartment complexes. I've had it where Priscilla lives, and I also had it happen at a place where I was delivering pizza. I found myself on the wrong side of a gate, unable to exit. And I wonder if that does violate any sort of kidnapping or involuntary imprisonment type laws, because it is definitely illegal to hold somebody in a place against their will. And while granted, in all these situations, I'm letting myself into that place willingly, I certainly didn't willingly choose to not be able to exit. And I'm thinking of these specific situations. The most recent one, where I was delivering a pizza for Domino's Pizza, I came in through the main entrance, which I had a gate code for. And then heading back out, I went out a door in their hallways. The apartment complex that used to be the Van Buren Holiday Inn back in the heyday of Phoenix in the 1950s and early 60s, when that was the strip, when that was the best place in town to be. It's hard to imagine that the way Van Buren is now, and it's hard to imagine that the way Van Buren was through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when it got such a bad reputation, which interestingly still lingers with the street now, even though that street hasn't been like that for 20 years. Now it's just urban decay more than anything. But yeah, there is some revitalization or renovation going on there. And one of those things is that Holiday Inn has been turned into studio apartments. Not very nice studio apartments, but studio apartments with a potentially, sometime in the future, really nice central location. That area still has a lot of work to go in its gentrification. And for the most part, that the management of that property is doing a good job. However, I'm coming out, going down the stairs, out the door, and there's a sign that says exit, which I'm assuming will exit to the parking lot, and I should be able to, just from that exit, walk directly to my car. Yeah, I assumed wrong. And I'm thinking at the bare minimum, they need to have, legally, a sign saying that if you exit that door, you cannot exit the property. Because I found myself on the wrong side of gates that I could not exit from, and thus imprisoned in that property. I started to panic and I realized, you know what, I can jump this fucking gate, which is what I did. I had to throw my pizza bag over the gate into the bushes and basically hoist myself over the fence, which is genuinely suspicious behavior, but they created a situation where that was the only way I could legitimately exit the property, which I think there's some legal issues there, I really do. The situation with Priscilla's place, also kind of similar. I arrived as a guest. She let me in. That's one of the few beeps my car makes that I appreciate. That means I left my blinker on too long. Obviously, I turned my blinker to the right to indicate a lane change and thought I had turned it off, and I hadn't. Whoops. So at Priscilla's property, what happened is I was a legitimate invited guest. She invited me in, let me into the property. It was one of the many nights where she led me to believe that we were going to be going to bed together for some adult fun. I fell asleep on her bed waiting for her to join me. She never did. I woke up. She was asleep on the couch, fully dressed. I felt cheated and misleaded and misled. Although misleaded rhymes with cheated. I think that's some good lyricism right there. Regardless, I didn't feel like staying there anymore. And when I tried to leave, I got to the pedestrian gate. The motor vehicle gate only opens if you have a motor vehicle that trips the sensor. So it wasn't, hello guy, let's play chicken here. Wasn't an option for me to exit. The pedestrian gate requires a code to get out. God, I haven't come in here. What? The code you have entered is not valid. Excuse me? Oh, I did it wrong. Dee. So, as I was saying, to exit her place through the pedestrian gate requires a code. So that alone creates a potential for somebody who was let in there legitimately, who doesn't know the code, and is then imprisoned. Think woman some dude brings home from there to the bar, who wakes up and realizes, oh my, I went home with some dude, I'm drunk, I don't want to be here. Surprise, girl, you're stuck. I can't help but think that by putting such a gate system in place that creates the potential for something like that happen is a liability issue for the property owner. All right, well, at least that's not going to happen here tonight because somebody is blocking the exit gate and has it stuck open for me. So, let's see how this works out. Ooh, that can't be good for that trigger. Yikes. I think so. I mean, I cannot get around you, but I'm cool. I can wait till you get the rest of your stuff, man. Not a problem. I know how this gate is this time of night. It's an impressive looking subwoofer. You do DJ work?
Huh?
Do you do DJ work or?
No.
Oh. Right on. Yeah, I'm really into music, and then I do DJ work. I've got a whole bunch of this kind of crap in my storage too. I get something good, I can't bear to throw it away, you know? I get myself a good piece of gear like that, I can't bring myself to throw it away, even if I'm not actively using it. That looks like a Polk Audio?
No, it's a Klipsch.
Oh, Klipsch. Yeah, Klipsch is good shit.
Paradigm.
I don't own any Paradigm, but I've heard of them. Heard good things about them.
Wow.
I've got such a mix and match of stuff set up at my place. I think the subwoofer that I'm using right now, you know, I'm not sure if it's KLH or Klipsch in my bedroom. It's the one I have is either the one in the bedroom is either KLH or it's Klipsch. It's buried so deep in my shelves that you can't see it, but it's positioned just right for the room that the bass just fills the room, which is great because I'm using these little tiny Japanese import TAC satellite speakers. So people will come into that room and they don't think there's going to be much in the way of sound, and I turn it up and just the whole room just booms. I forget the brand that I have in my living room setup. It's an off-brand. It's like not a very well-known American brand, but it's impressive. The sub, and I think it's just a dual voice coil 8-inch, but it's got the bass reflex port that's tuned and nice.
My stereo's got 2 ports for subs.
Nice.
9.2. Yamaha.
Oh, I've got so many Yamaha subs. My main receiver in my living room system is Yamaha, and I used to use the Yamaha sub until I got a hold of the one that I have now. The one I have now just outperforms the shit out of my old Yamaha. And then the one that I use for my DJ setup, because I DJ and I do karaoke hosting, it's I'm trying to think of the name of the brand. I'd never heard of it before I picked it up. Oh, it's killing me. I can't remember the name of the brand. I know it's like handmade in Denmark. It's a European brand. I'd never heard of it before, but it looked to be really well built. So I Googled it at the thrift store I found it at, where they were selling it for $30, and the thing's retail was like $700. And I looked at the specs and I'm like, I don't even care if this fucker works at this price. I'll fix it. And not a damn thing wrong with it other than one of the feet on it were physically broken. Yeah, I put little foam feet on the side and I just set it sideways. Works just fine like that. And I've been using that for my DJ setup for, God, probably 8 years. But it's a I can't remember if it's a 12 or a 15, whatever it is. It just fucking thumps.
I'll go here in the parking lot. Over there.
Or is it just across the street? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, by all means, get your shit secure. I'd hate to see you lose speakers over me. My big rush was trying to get through that gate. Yeah. I had. Hi. I made it. He's just loading his speakers.
Yeah. I just gotta wait till my gate closes. Can you pull forward for me?
I act well, maybe a little
Got
bit.
plenty of room. Pull forward. Hey, lady. Just pull forward and then you can back up.
No problem. I thought I was clear of the gate.
You're good.
Okay. Sorry about that, Beth.
No, not a problem. It's just my computer's beeping at me and it's...
Oh, I'm sure. I was feeling really good. I made it to the gate on time, and then he's trying to load his speakers and
I always
shit.
appreciate that.
Oh.
No, it's not going to close.
Am I blocking something, or is it just? It looks like that's the signature right
Yeah,
there.
you're on it. Yeah.
I don't know if forward about. I can go forward. It's hard to see from the driver's seat how much space I got. I got you, Beth. Well, that was cool. I ended up having another great conversation with Bev. I love her, the manager over there. There's so many people that just can't stand her, and I just don't think they understand that she's the manager of a storage facility in a really bad neighborhood, and she ain't playing games. I appreciate where she's coming from. All in all, it's made the situation better for me. Anyway, we had some, we were exchanging some fun stories about things that have happened there in the past. My God, at this point, I think I've had my storage there like 13 years. And of course, if I sit and do the math on how much I've paid for 13 years worth of storage and put that against the value of the stuff I'm storing, yeah, that doesn't math well at all. But the bottom line is I'm not ready to let go of any of that stuff. So I'll continue to pay that storage rent as long as I can afford it until I have somewhere else to put that stuff, or I'm ready to let go of enough of that stuff that I can have less units. That is something I really do want to work on once the weather gets less brutal. It's still hot. In fact, we're still hitting into the 110 plus range in the daytime. So. Oh, there goes my camera. Ain't that some... Wait. Oh, are you good? Are you good? Nope, not good. All right, y'all just get to see my inadequately lit face because way too close on my inadequately lit face because that front-facing camera is done. I need to do something about my phone situation again, but yeah, not a priority right now. In fact, it's probably better that I shoot less video so I can make some progress at getting ahead on my vlog. Getting ahead on posting my vlog, which I think I've done in the last couple of days. That's the one positive thing that comes out of when I hit heavy depression and don't want to leave my bed. At least I occupy my mind with that and I make progress at getting stuff posted. So I was going through stories about times I've been imprisoned due to gates not letting me out. As I was saying before, I found myself stuck at that gate due to another person trying to exit that gate and just blocking the way out. But fortunately keeping the gate open for me. Yeah, I was stuck inside Priscilla's apartment complex and unable to leave. And I don't think it was even a situation of my not having the code to the gate. I think the gate was not functioning. Again, it seems to me like there's a liability on the part of the property owner, creating a situation where somebody can get in, but they can't get out. And the other one was right there at U-Store, after the current owners put the gates in. I'm not sure what time I came in, but I went in just like I just went in. And I guess it was 7:03. The gates are on a time lock for 7 o'clock. And I guess it was, 7:03 or 7:04 when I was trying to get out and they would not open because of the time lock. Now, Bev did come and let me out and it wasn't a problem. And she kind of lectured me a bit about it. And I'm just like, look, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. But I do think this is a problem. If somebody can get in and can't get out, what would be the situation if I couldn't get out? So Priscilla has invited me to come to her place for food. Honestly, I think I was supposed to be there like an hour ago. As tempting as the food is, I've been eating sandwiches all day long. I'm not particularly hungry. And although she's not obligated to give me sex, I largely place the blame for my sexual frustration on her. for not doing it. So, yeah, that doesn't make me want to be around her. And then the fact that April's there, yeah, that just makes it even more complicated. So yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that. Now, I have been chatting all day with a woman that I spent most of Thursday night with. And I do believe the last vlog I shot on Thursday night had me going to Newtown Saloon for karaoke. I think I got to sing a couple songs at Newtown. I wasn't in the best mood at Newtown. I did see Kim there. Kim-tastic Kim. And I don't know that I've talked about her on my vlog, but there was one night, mostly just to keep this guy that was hitting on her to the point it was making her very upset and uncomfortable, where I was playing the role of her boyfriend. And it's not like I find Kim to be that attractive physically, but I do really like her, and that's something. I'm hitting that point where any port in a storm looks good. So, just throwing that out there. I wasn't really having that good of a time over there, and something had me really upset, and I can't remember what it was. And then Zach, the bartender that I really liked there, wasn't there. Apparently that's not his shift anymore. So I just decided to move on, but I didn't want to go home. So I went over to Gypsy's to see if they still did Thursday karaoke, and they did. And the guy who replaced me at Castaways, after I was told that I was coming back, was there. I don't hold that against him, but it does create a certain animosity and awkwardness for me when I see him because of that. But my big surprise was when I walked to the patio, and I almost didn't recognize her because I hadn't seen her since before the pandemic. But I ran into this woman who I've known for just shy of 20 years and have had a crush on for just shy of 20 years, whom I find insanely physically attractive, like over the top physically attractive. And long story short, I ended up spending the night with her. And it has me rethinking a whole lot of things